we have data scientists, and they are able within the bank, and they are able to tell us this is the trend for this business. These are the preferences for this business. At this particular time, this business will be requiring additional capital. At this particular time, this business will not require any capital. So we are working in conjunction with our data scientists to be able to tell the businesses that are banking at I&M, how do you finance them and address the real issues in the business? Because it's not every time when you feel that the business is struggling, that is struggling because of lack of financing. Quite often, you'll find that maybe there are systems that need to be put in place. And like as my colleague has said here, poor record keeping is also very dangerous, because you should be able to tell your business performance at any given time. And you can only do that if you are doing proper record keeping. You can be able to tell how the business is faring. And these are some of the conversations we usually have. And what we usually do at I&M is that we also workshop the customers who are banking with us. And we also want them to be able to discuss and share experiences, so that when their businesses require any form of assistance, they know how we can be able to support them. Yeah.
All right, thank you so much, Eunice, for that. Damson, let me come to you. In an economic crunch, a country that is going through economic crunch, where we have difficulty in accessing very many, when it comes to different services, how does a business navigate? You've been on for 14 years. COVID came, you're still here. So how do you navigate through all these challenges and the economic challenges that a country has?
Thank you. I think a lot of entrepreneurs will understand that finances are probably 4-5% of the ingredients that you need to run a successful entrepreneurship, enterprise, to get it started. And I think it starts with the clarity of your goals. If you understand the value that you, and the environment around the value, what value you give to whom, the ecosystem around your enterprise, then you are able to make a lot more sense to your customers, such that, and I'll give an example of Jambo Pay. We understood the value, for example, to the media industry, in enabling them to monetize the content and the importance then. And as such, it was not easy, it was not hard to get our customers to prepay. We skipped a whole phase of financing in those early days, or a need for financing. We are largely financed by our customers, in that we were very clear, understanding from a customer's perspective what it is the pain points and the value that you'd be extending, or the service in our service, how we meet those challenges that they faced. That clarity put down and filtered into in numbers really got us go through a phase of, our first 3-4 years, I founded Jamopay in a cyber. And in that, basically walking into a cyber cafe and telling the cyber cafe owners that I really would like to just take a computer here and be paying every month, instead of, and not to give anyone else this computer. Even in that itself is a very refined approach to what we needed. I knew then that I needed to get internet connection. That was the most important thing. It was not trucks to move around, or vehicles, or even big office and so forth. It was basically to get a computer, internet connection, and a desk. And the moment you keep refining and being very clear in terms of what needs to be done, the value that you give to yourselves and to your customers, then you're able to navigate a lot of these challenges. Then COVID came in, and it's good you mentioned COVID. And it was a very uncertain times. If you recall, Jamopay reached out to the media, and Standard Group was a partner then. We partnered around e-commerce. We felt in this uncertain times then, called for unusual strategic partnerships of like minds to try pull together strengths. So by this I mean, besides clarity on the value, there is a need to be as agile as you can get in terms of ability to form alliances, strategic partnerships. And then there is certainly in business a need to remain agile even internally. Tough times, business requires decision making. If it is, if numbers, and numbers never lie, are indicative of that you need to shift from or change your product or from this market to another market, you've got to move and act as fast as you can. We did scale down in, by the way, German Pay grew 300% year-on-year basis between 2009 and 2018. A bit of challenges, COVID came, and we had to initially scale down and back to growth, So that ability to respond to the environment, as tough as it may, is an essential attribute of any business leader and entrepreneurs. But certainly in the same agility is the same applied into adoption of new strategies, technologies, and so forth. Technology, as by the way, today offers a unique opportunity to navigate through challenges and jump onto new opportunities you could launch on the internet through social media platforms and so forth. And so those are just but I like to summarize them into three. Keep an eye on the people that you work with and how you can grow that. Keep agility around your architecture and your routines and your culture. Thank you.
All right. Now, that is the first segment of our guests. We have two more coming in. We have Rima Doshi and Ronald Mahando. They're also going to be just giving us their perspective when it comes to how they market themselves. We're going to just make sure that at least we discuss this. And if you are a business, remember, SMEs obviously leave a large, growing impact on economic output in emerging markets and also frontier ones as well. And as we know, they are the main creators of jobs, particularly across Africa. So therefore, strengthening the SMEs that we have within the country is going to just make us even able to compete in the global markets, and also we'll be able to just have a table just trading with different other countries. So therefore, just stick around. We are going to look at how we are going to strengthen marketing when it comes to businesses. So therefore, we're going now to be joined by Rima Doshi Lewis, who is the CEO and founder, RD Marketing. Rima Doshi, who is the Lewis, CEO and founder, RD Marketing, and RD Marketing markets for startups. We're also going to be joined by Ronald Mahando, who is the CEO, Maramoja. They're going to be joining me up here in the next 2 minutes in order for us to just look at how we are going to navigate marketing in this particular field. We are also going to just be speaking about, remember, RD Marketing markets for startups. You as a startup, what is it that you're doing in order for you to just stand out when it comes to how you're navigating the technologies that we have, the digital space that we have? What is it that you're doing in order for you to make sure that at least you stand out from the rest? Are you doing the right thing when it comes to marketing? Are you doing the best in order for you to make sure that at least your business stands out? Right, they've joined me right here on air. Thank you so much. Rima Doshi Lewis and Ronald Mahando, thank you so much for coming through. All right, so our first two guests spoke about financing and how you need, what you need to do in order for you to get financing. And I believe Eunice gave us what the businesses need to do. And also we had Danson, who gave us his perspective as a CEO. Now, Rima, you deal with very many businesses. You market for very many startups.
Startups and SMEs.
Yes, startups and SMEs. What is it that many of the startups and SMEs that you market for miss, especially when they come to you? Because I believe someone comes to you and says, okay, I have this business. Can you please market for me? So
Yes.
What is it that you usually come across when you're marketing?
Right. Thanks for having me here. So some of the things that we actually see when businesses come to us is, one, they don't understand their target audience. So when we do marketing strategy, at RD Marketing, we actually start from right there at the base. So who's your target audience? If anyone says it's everybody, we have to break it down. So we break it down a little bit further and we see, okay, so who is it? Even if it's B2B, it has to be an individual within that organization that, again, you're targeting, right? And they have challenges and pain points. So what is it that you're speaking into? Are you actually giving a solution to the problems that they have? So starting, first of all, with just understanding who's your target audience. Then as they're doing their marketing, one of the things that we do in strategy is link it to your business goals. So what is your business objective? So your targets, your vision, your mission, all of that is really, really important when we're creating the strategy. So for you to even start, before we start opening up a social media page or start putting up a banner or a billboard or something of that sort, understand who you're speaking to, and then you'll be able to create messaging around that, and then link it towards the business goal, if you will. Yeah.
Ronald, Rima has given us she has set the stage. So you as a CEO of Maramoja, when you look at when you started and where you are right now, in terms of how you started when you were marketing, first of all, even when you started, what is it you looked at, and what are some of the strategies that you can even share with people whose businesses would have maybe stagnated somewhere?
Thank you for that. So for us, it's been a long journey. We've been focusing mostly on B2B. Recently, we are moving to B2C. So definitely the marketing, messaging, the channels evolve with the shift. And definitely also our business strategy has evolved as we proceed. One key thing that I'd like to say is there is a lot of information that organizations have. And this information is information that is helpful to the general public, because I think every organization that exists, it exists to solve a specific problem for the specific person or market that they're after. And it's a disservice if that market doesn't know there's a solution that exists. For instance, one fact that people don't know is Maramoja is the leading taxi platform for businesses. We've beat all the big players, and I think very soon we are coming for the retail space. And I'd say all indications based on whatever we are doing right now, all are moving in the right direction. I'd say the channels that you pick are very important for us. For instance, when we decided we want to talk to the public, we decided let's work with the Standard Group for quite a number of reasons. One of them is it's a trusted brand. It has people who look for it for information when they want to discover new products. And I think it has the right demographics that we were looking for at that point. But in general, I'd say this is not something that is cut and paste for every business. And I think that's why my fellow panelist is very important. Yeah.
All right. That is Ronald Mahando. We've also been joined by Jeff Njao, who is an SME consultant. He's going to give us his perspective when it comes to how businesses are also marketing themselves. Thank you so much, Jeff, for joining us. Now,
Thank you.
You are a specialist in this.
Yes.
Yes. So what is it that businesses are missing when it comes to marketing?
Thank
Thank you very much for having me. And we've been in the space for business advisory as market analytics and research for now the last 13 years. And we've had opportunity to meet businesses at different parts of their growth path, from the time that they are down to the time that they are in the middle space and the times that they're in their best trajectory. You find that the first thing is to know your customer. My panelist, colleague panelist here spoke about who you're talking to. Who are you talking to? In this conversation, I have many more questions for you. Many entrepreneurs get into business, but they haven't really fine-tuned who their audience is. And when you fine-tune who your audience is, for the marketing perspective, it's how you will talk to them. But for the product development perspective, is how you will render that product in a way that that person that you're talking to can be able to receive it. My colleague here has spoken about that their rendition is B2B, that they talk to other companies. If you're talking to other companies, the mode of how you will render the product is different from how you will talk to Jane, Joroge, Kamau, Otieno, who is a B2C. So my challenge to entrepreneurs, and I've seen many of them in this space, is to introspect and to ask yourself, this idea that you have, who is your target? What need are you meeting? Is it a real need or it's an imaginary need? You know? And when you start interrogating that, then you can start fine-tuning the product, fine-tuning the marketing. The panels earlier spoke about financing. Maybe you don't even need financing. Maybe you're not even there. You will default that loan and be listed at CRB. Maybe you still are at the back a bit and you still need to work on it. So there's still a lot of work on business development.
All right, Jeff Njao telling us, you know, a consultant will give you the facts critically, yes? All right, so Rima, when it comes to the audience, he has really dwelt on who are you talking to. In terms of businesses, when you're starting a business, be it any kind of business, many people usually start a business saying, okay, I want to make profit. You want, and Kenya, of course, the way we are, your neighbor is the one, okay, your neighbor has started a kibanda for tomatoes. Yep. After some time, you also get someone else has started the same kind of business.
Right next to them.
Exactly. Just right next to them. Maybe now they've added carrots on top. So when it comes to how we are looking at the audience that we serve, should we only look at the aspect of money? Because I believe the audience and people you're selling to is the most important from what I've picked from Jeff.
Okay, so RD Marketing does a lot of different workshops, okay? So what we do is we understand businesses, what your challenges are, what your pain points are, and we actually, like for example, tomorrow, we're doing a full day workshop, yeah? Just on marketing strategy. And I've been doing this for over 5 years, touched on over thousands of startups and SMEs, right? And spoken to them. So one of the things just from that comes up is I'm selling something similar to what my colleague was saying, but there's nothing unique. So what we say, apart from understanding who your target audience is, understanding their pain points and challenges, is what is your unique value proposition? What value are you giving to your customers, right? Again, it is a lot from, actually I might be jumping on this one, but a lot of it is research-based as well. So make your assumptions, especially when you're starting off. Make your assumptions and try and see that, okay, I was thinking this kind of person is the one that I want to sell to. So go out into the market, talk to them even before you start your product, your new product or your service, right? Talk to them and say, okay, have an interview, see are you willing to buy something like this for your challenge? And at what price point would you like to do that? And what is it out in the market in terms of competition that's there that you can be able to then, like, not just have one extra item, like the way you said, a carrot, but there's something that is missing, right? And that's why businesses also have something called innovation, right? You're constantly innovating because you want to keep ahead of that competition. For example, Facebook, right? Facebook has, over the years, how from the time you first started on Facebook up to where it is right now, can you see a lot of difference? But because of that constant innovation, they're trying to get up to speed. AI is the big thing. It's not just about getting onto a trend. It's about how are people now perceiving it and how it's now relevant for your business to also have that. Right, so then now you start thinking about, okay, so coming back to innovation, what is the value that I'm now giving to my customers? And your value proposition doesn't mean that it's going to stay the same over years. Where you started and where you are right now, you can keep evolving that value proposition. Evolve it to what your customer needs are right now. One of the things I give during my workshop is an example of Zoom. When Zoom came in, I mean, obviously Zoom was the biggest one when COVID came, right? And we were all jumping onto the bandwagon of Zoom because Zoom was helping us do something that, for example, a competitor, Skype, was not doing, right? What was it? It was screen share. Already you can be able to share your screen, you don't have to send the document to them, and so on, right? But if you look at their value proposition right now, it's evolved. They're also talking about, hey, by the way, why don't you have an AI assistant to help you during meetings? Let them take your notes. Let them give you a summary. Let them give you whatever. So again, that's innovation in the part of Zoom, right? If we stay behind like a brand called Kodak, right? For the generation that need know what that was, we used to have a camera where you put a film inside it, and you take photographs, you take that film, you go and get it processed for you to be able to have printed photographs, right? And what happened is that evolved, right? Where are we right now? We have, like, for example, my colleague, she's taking photos and videos from your phone, where it wasn't there before. But that's a necessity, and keeping up with what does your customers really need, right? So your value proposition keeps changing. What value are you giving? People are not buying prize. They're not buying money. It's not about the money that they're paying for it. It's the value that you create for them, and that's what they're actually getting from. Yeah.
All right, Rima, thank you so much for that explanation. Let me bring you in as a business owner. You've employed a couple of people. So how are you making sure that you're using the new innovations in technology? Now, everyone is moving to the digital space, trying to sell their business there, trying to even open. They have a physical structure, but they also have a digital kind of shop. So what are you doing in terms of trying to embrace the new kind of marketing and also the new kind of business that has that everyone is getting into right now, that is digital?
Yeah, thank you for that. So in our business, what we do is we follow the customer. So if the customer is online, that's where we are going to go. If the customer is in your office, that's where we are going to go. If the customer is watching TV right now, that's where we are. So the key things that we try to solve, I think, are universal, but I don't think any business can be able to solve everything that is universal, so you pick a couple of things. For instance, for businesses, what we do is we try to reduce your cost of transportation, we try to give you more visibility, and we try to give you more control. And we do those three things better than anyone else in the world. So I think for Kenyan businesses that are either trying to save money, that are either trying to get more control and more visibility and use that data to be able to improve in the operations, I think we are the company to go to. But in general, I think the key message that is very important for businesses is to understand that you can do a lot of innovation. But if customers don't know, there's nothing you've done. There is this, I don't know if it's a saying or it's a what, that says if a tree right now has fallen in the Amazon forest and no one has seen, has it fallen? It's not fallen. So I think the key thing is to ensure that whatever you're doing, whatever value you're creating, it gets to the right audience. And I think one of the key reasons why, for instance, the earlier panel that was here, one of the panelists was saying that right now you could be in Nairobi, Kenya, but you're competing with someone who is in San Francisco. But that person is doing a better job in getting their story to Kenyans than you are, for a lot of factors. Yeah? But I think this is the thing that local businesses as us, we need to embrace and know that we know the market better than anyone else. We are solving the problems in the point of view of the people, of the communities that you are in, which means our solutions are more sustainable. Our solutions are more direct. And I think the key thing that mostly in organizations is missing is the story is not getting told to the right audience in the right way. Yeah.
Jeff, he's saying the story is not being told to the right audience. You know, someone might be sitting at home or they might be watching this and asking, okay, what story can a business tell? You know, because this is something that people usually know. Okay, I've gotten a loan. I want to set up a business, but you don't go. Is involved in making sure that your business works. So when he's speaking about telling a story, from your perspective, what do you think are businesses supposed to tell in terms of a story and how to get their customers?
I like the question, and the answer to that question lies in the need and the demand that you're meeting. Assume you're looking for medicine, a very specific medicine for a very specific ailment. You've gone to the doctors, you've gone to different consultants, and they've told you that what you need is a certain particular medicine. You will look and look and look until the moment you find it. And when you find it, you will pay whatever price. At that point, the finding is more important than the price. Now, if you're a business person watching us right now, the question is, what problem are you solving that you will make that person who needs Maramoja to have that, to look for you? The question to you is, how do you ensure that that thing that you need, for example, I go on Facebook a lot and I love art and I know very specific art. So every time I'm searching and seeing the different kinds of art that people are posting on the Facebook marketplace. But if you hadn't posted, how would I know? So the first call to action for any entrepreneur is to start putting out what you have. If it is art, if it is a business, if it is whatever product, if it is a service that you make and you put, don't say that no one will see. Put it out there. The jury will make the verdict. Put it out there. If they are not seeing, add some more money to it on promotion. Meet my colleagues here who are in strategy, who can tell you how you can, make that bullet more targeted to the audience. It is for you, it is the challenge to the entrepreneurs to believe in this thing that they have so much and to put it out there. As he said, if no one saw it and no one even reported it, then maybe it didn't happen. It is up to us as the entrepreneurs. As I was walking around in this place, I saw very beautiful things. I saw nice diaries. I saw a guy here with specific, very custom-made nuts with chocolate. But how many people know that? How many people know about those nice bags that are made from camel skin? You know, there's a guy who really wants it. But if you've not told your story, then no one will read it. You know, we always complain that no one is buying. But there's always somebody who has that need. You know, and that's the challenge that I put out to business people. Go out, use the old school methods for marketing. That's door to door, where you've said that this particular thing that I have, the way that the people who need it are in this particular fashion. He said that they follow the customers. If the customers are online, he goes online. If the customers are in offices, he goes to offices. Maybe you're putting out a product online that the market is not online. You're looking for old folks who are 67 years old. Even if they have a smartphone, they don't know how to navigate. For them, maybe it's going to their meetings. Where are their meetings? How do they meet? You know, so you have to be very specific to the audience that you have and try and know their mannerisms. Are they tall? Are they short? Are they old? Are they young? Are they mixed race? Are they single race? Are they up country? Are they in the cities? Are they in urban centers or are they in the rural areas? This product that you have, who is it for? The more clarity you have in knowing is who they are, is how you'll be able to get more targeted. My colleague here who I saw doing custom-made diaries, who is buying custom-made diaries? That's a question that they should be trying to answer, and says, okay, it is maybe companies that want to give gifts to their customers. Is this particular product that I have, is it seasonal or is it all year round? You know, like for example, I do, my firm does a lot of tax and audit consultancy. And part of it, because of the very nature, is seasonal. So we know if we are not in the right season of the tax work, we will not be able to get. So if you over-invest the marketing budget in the wrong season, then you will meet, there will be no return on investment, and then you get angry and say, oh, there's no money, oh, there's no business. There is money. If you go out in the road, you will see the latest KD. I don't know, it's now KD what? It's KDP. And it's not a tuk-tuk, it's a big vehicle. So the fact that it's you who doesn't have money, it's not that there's no money. The money is there. It's because there are people who are putting out a product that people are receiving. You know? So that's the challenge that I put to the person watching us. Believe in that product so much so, try and know who it is, then know how do you reach them. And put out a method to reach them, either online, physically, call your uncle, auntie, friend, neighbor, or whoever. You know, camp at their door, but do not stop until you reach that person if you have a solution for this person.
Jeff right there giving us his perspective and very good insights. So Rima, how do a business get to make itself available for investment? Because he's spoken about how you package yourself as a business, and how do you make sure that at least this thing that you're doing with passion, you have made noise about it, almost everyone knows about it. So how do you do this? And he's spoken about money. Of course, when you start a business, you're looking for money. So therefore, money is there. But how do you get to mine the money from people?
Okay, so there's very different ways of doing this, right? One is what we call the bootstrapped. So you put all your savings and all your father's savings and all your friends' savings and put it all together, right? So there's one aspect of it, and a lot of us have actually tried that, right? So when we're starting up, this is what we do. Second aspect, which I feel also my previous colleagues in the panel had spoken about, which was getting it from, what was it called? Your customers. So your customers are already seeing value out of it, and then they're able to then come back, invest in it, even before you start your business. They're like, no, I believe in what you're saying, which is where like a lot of different like online platforms even exist, where they say, listen, I'll give you dibs. I'll give you 50% off. All I need is for you to then now put some money into it. So that's one aspect of it. So now they become your investors, but they also become your customers as well, right? So that's one aspect. Then another aspect. Then there is, of course, your investors, right? So your VCs, your angels, all of those people, banks like INM, for example. There's certain things that they're looking for in your business in terms of even capacity, for example, right? So there's so many different kinds of things like that assessment that they do. And in that assessment, one thing that you have to realize is what your value proposition is for your customers is going to be different to the value proposition for your investors. What are your investors looking at? Are they looking at your kind of growth? Are they looking at how fast you can grow? Are they looking at your bottom line? Are they looking at, what are they looking at, right? So when you're also creating that deck, if you will, to go to an investor or to a bank to say, this is my business, what is it that they're looking for? Not about your customers, but also market size. I think that's another big thing that investors look at. Is your business one of those that can actually scale up to a larger scale and you have a big market size, right? So you start with a small place, which is your share of market. Then you can go into the larger scale all the way to the total addressable market, right? So if you're looking at in all aspects,